Welcome to our show, Trump Briefing. Today, we're diving into the whirlwind of economic chaos triggered by President Trump's sweeping tariffs, which have sent stock markets into a tailspin. Investors are feeling the heat, but experts suggest that staying the course with a diversified portfolio might be the best bet amidst this turmoil. Panic selling is not the answer, folks. In other news, there's a significant surge of American doctors looking to pack their bags and head north to Canada since Trump's election. With frustrations over the U.S. healthcare system boiling over, recruiters are seeing a notable increase in interest from physicians eager for a fresh start. This could be a game-changer for Canada's healthcare landscape, helping to fill the gaps in family physician shortages. Lastly, the Senate is buzzing with debate over a budget plan that could pave the way for major tax cuts and defense spending, all aimed at advancing Trump's agenda. While Republicans are pushing for these changes, Democrats are raising alarms about rising deficits and the potential impacts on essential programs. It's a classic political showdown with high stakes. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Toronto Star reports that the recent implementation of sweeping global tariffs by U.S. President Donald Trump has sent shockwaves through world markets, prompting fears of a recession that could adversely affect stock prices across North America and beyond. As stock indices like the US S&P 500 and the Canadian S&P TSX Composite Index have entered correction territory, investors are understandably anxious about their portfolios. However, financial experts advise against panic selling, suggesting that long-term investors should maintain a diversified portfolio and resist the temptation to time the market, which is notoriously difficult and often leads to missed opportunities for recovery. In another piece from the Toronto Star, Scott Stinson discusses the paradox of Trump's tariff strategy, which appears to prioritize long-term economic restructuring over immediate voter satisfaction. Despite the chaos and uncertainty created by these tariffs, Trump is attempting to persuade the American public to endure short-term pain for potential long-term gains. This approach is fraught with risks, particularly as manufacturers face the daunting challenges of unwinding global supply chains and establishing new facilities in the U.S. The article highlights the difficulty politicians face in convincing voters to accept sacrifices for a better future, especially when the immediate consequences of such policies may lead to economic downturns and increased hardship for everyday Americans. Lastly, the Toronto Star covers the ongoing tensions in Ukraine, where UK and French officials have accused Russian President Vladimir Putin of stalling ceasefire negotiations amidst continued military aggression. The recent drone attack on Kharkiv, which resulted in civilian casualties, underscores the urgency for a resolution to the conflict. Despite calls for a swift response from Russia, the Kremlin's reluctance to agree to a ceasefire raises concerns about the potential for further escalation. As both nations prepare for a possible new offensive, the situation remains precarious, with Western allies pledging to support Ukraine's defense efforts while seeking a path to peace that has thus far eluded diplomatic discussions. The Toronto Star reports that the Senate has embarked on a heated debate regarding a budget plan devised by Republicans, aimed at advancing President Trump's agenda, which includes substantial tax cuts and enhanced border security. This, one big beautiful bill, is crucial for the GOP, as it would enable them to push through a tax cut bill even in the face of unanimous Democratic opposition, reminiscent of tactics employed during Trump's first term. Democrats are prepared to make this process politically challenging, initiating marathon voting sessions that will force GOP senators to defend their positions on various contentious issues, including Trump's tariff strategies. The Republicans assert that their plan is designed to prevent tax increases for American families, while Democrats argue it sets the stage for increased deficits and cuts to essential safety net programs, disproportionately benefiting the wealthy. The Toronto Star also highlights a notable trend of American doctors expressing interest in relocating to Canada since Trump's election. Recruiters from various Canadian provinces, such as Nova Scotia and Manitoba, report a significant rise in inquiries and negotiations with U.S. physicians. Many doctors are motivated by frustrations with the American healthcare system and political interference in their practices. This influx could help mitigate Canada's physician shortage, which is estimated to be around 23,000 family doctors. The recruitment efforts aim to attract these medical professionals, offering them a more favorable working environment and addressing the growing healthcare needs of Canadians. The Toronto Star further details the fallout from Trump's recent tariffs, which have triggered retaliatory measures from Canada and China, intensifying the trade war and causing a significant market downturn. Canada has imposed counter-tariffs on $35 billion worth of American vehicles, while China has enacted a 34% tariff on all U.S. imports. This escalating situation has led to fears of a recession in both countries, with stock markets experiencing severe declines. The Canadian economy has already seen substantial job losses, particularly in the auto sector, as companies like Stellantis announce layoffs in response to the tariffs. As the global economic landscape becomes increasingly unstable, the ramifications of Trump's policies are felt far beyond U.S. borders, affecting jobs and economic stability in Canada and beyond. The Independent reports that Elon Musk's week has been riddled with challenges, closely mirroring the chaos surrounding Donald Trump's recent tariff policies. While Trump boasted about the success of his tariffs, Musk's social media platform X, formerly Twitter, faces a potential $1 billion fine from the EU due to its failure to manage disinformation and hate speech. This legal trouble could mark Musk as the first CEO penalized under the EU's Digital Services Act. The repercussions extend to Tesla, where sales have plummeted by 13% in a growing market, attributed not only to increased competition but also to Musk's controversial political stances and personal brand, which appear to be tarnishing Tesla's reputation. The company's loyal fanbase, known as Muskrats, is growing restless as the stock value declines, and the brand's resilience is being tested amidst Musk's ongoing public antics. In another report from Yahoo US, educators across the country express a range of reactions to President Trump's executive order aimed at dismantling the Department of Education. While some educators argue that the department's closure would endanger critical services for vulnerable students, others believe that education authorities should return to the states for more localized control. Teachers from various backgrounds share their concerns, highlighting how the loss of federal funding could adversely affect students in Title I schools, particularly those from low-income families. Conversely, some educators endorse the move, citing bureaucratic inefficiencies and advocating for a more streamlined approach to educational governance. The debate reveals a deep divide in opinions about the role of federal oversight in education and its impact on student success. The Independent also highlights the potential for a significant price increase on the iPhone, driven by Trump's sweeping tariffs on Chinese imports. Analysts warn that the price of the iPhone could soar by as much as 43%, leading to costs upwards of $2,300 for premium models. With most iPhones still manufactured in China, Apple faces a tough decision: absorb the increased costs or pass them on to consumers, who may already be hesitant to upgrade due to stagnating demand for new features. While some production has shifted to countries like Vietnam and India, they too are facing hefty tariffs, complicating Apple's pricing strategy. Experts suggest that such a drastic price hike could deter buyers and potentially cost Apple billions, as competition from companies like Samsung becomes more appealing amidst rising costs. CNN reports that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has raised alarms about the potential for sustained high inflation due to President Trump's sweeping tariffs. At an event near Washington, D.C., Powell expressed concerns over a highly uncertain outlook that could lead to both elevated unemployment and persistent inflation. His comments come in the wake of the Trump administration's announcement of the steepest tariffs in 200 years, signaling a possible economic downturn. The tariffs, which include a 10% levy on all U.S. imports and even higher rates set for April, have already triggered a global stock market sell-off and raised recession fears among economists. Powell noted that the Fed faces a challenging task of balancing inflation control with economic growth, reminiscent of the struggles during the 1970s. Meanwhile, Trump has called for the Fed to lower interest rates, further complicating the central bank's decision-making process. With consumer confidence waning and small business uncertainty rising, Powell indicated that the Fed may need to hold interest rates steady until the effects of these tariffs become clearer. As uncertainty looms, the Fed is poised to navigate a complex economic landscape shaped by Trump's aggressive trade policies. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Lights dim, voices loud, headlines flash. passion loud. World in a flame and now stories told, it's time to vow. Eyes glued, truth pursued, understanding woven through. Heartbeats race breaking through, knowledge spreads the new view. Breaking the news, breaking the day, truth and insight our way. Every story, every play, live and clear we convey. Shadows lift, facts unfold, moments chasing, stories told. Heroes, villains, tales of old. In this hour, truth is gold. Depths revealed, voices bright, news in focus, black and white. Every angle sheds some light, morning, evening, through the night. Breaking the news, breaking the day, truth and insight our way. Every story, every play, live and clear we convey. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way. Breaking the news, breaking the day, truth and insight our way. Every story, every play, living clear we convey. Every story, every play, and clear we convey. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way. Depths revealed, voices bright, news in focus, black and white. Every angle sheds some light, morning, evening, through the night.